Emotional trauma runs deeper than just painful memories or unresolved feelings. It leaves imprints on your soul, affecting your energy, your relationships, and your ability to live fully in the present moment. However, from a spiritual perspective, trauma is not a life sentence. It is often seen as a catalyst for transformation, a spiritual challenge that, once faced, can lead to deeper self-awareness, spiritual growth, and a greater understanding of life's purpose. Trauma can shatter our sense of safety, trust, and self-worth. But it also creates an opportunity for transformation, as it pushes us to confront our inner shadows and find ways to heal. By embracing the pain, instead of avoiding it, you begin to strip away layers of fear and illusion. This confrontation with pain is difficult, but it also facilitates the profound spiritual realization that your true self is much larger than your wounds. When we view trauma as a gateway rather than a permanent barrier, it can serve as a turning point, a chance to rebuild yourself with more resilience, wisdom, and compassion. Many people who go through spiritual healing of trauma emerge with a renewed sense of purpose, as they learn to reframe their experiences and see the growth that arises from suffering. This process may not be easy, but it allows you to transmute pain into something powerful and deeply meaningful. Trauma is often stored in the body and the energetic field, creating blockages that prevent you from accessing your full potential. Emotional wounds leave an energetic residue that can become stuck in your system, affecting your physical health, emotional well-being, and ability to connect spiritually. This is why many people who have experienced trauma often feel disconnected, fatigued, or as if they are living on autopilot. From a spiritual viewpoint, healing trauma requires addressing not only the emotional and mental aspects, but also the physical and energetic ones. The first step in healing is recognizing that trauma affects you on every level: physical, energetic, and spiritual. Practices like meditation, breathwork, and energy healing can help release these blockages, allowing you to process emotions that have been trapped for years. For example, breathwork helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system, facilitating relaxation and emotional release. Energy healing modalities like Reiki work on clearing and balancing the chakras, energy centers that are often blocked by unresolved trauma. Trauma that is unhealed tends to linger in the lower chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, manifesting as feelings of insecurity, fear, lack of creativity, and powerlessness. By engaging in practices that cleanse and energize these centers, such as grounding exercises, creative expression, and affirmations, you help restore the flow of energy and create space for healing. When these blockages are removed, you can access a greater sense of vitality, intuition, and spiritual connection. The goal is not to erase the pain, but to transmute it into something higher, a deeper understanding of yourself, the divine, and your purpose. From a spiritual perspective, trauma often arises when we are disconnected from our true selves or the divine. Emotional pain is a signal that something is misaligned. Perhaps you've internalized beliefs that are not true to who you are, or you've experienced situations that stripped away your sense of self-worth and connection. Reconnecting with your higher self can help you navigate the painful emotions that arise during healing. This is where the concept of spiritual alchemy comes into play, transforming the lead of emotional pain into the gold of spiritual wisdom. Spiritual alchemy involves the process of transmutation, much like the physical alchemists who sought to turn base metals into gold. In this case, however, the base metal is your trauma, the pain, suffering, and limiting beliefs that weigh you down. Through the practice of self-reflection, meditation, and inner work, you begin to transform these dense, painful emotions into qualities like compassion, wisdom, and love. By diving deep into your trauma, you uncover hidden aspects of yourself that need healing and acceptance. The journey inward, though challenging, is an essential part of your spiritual evolution. Reconnecting with your true self and the divine can involve practices like mindfulness, prayer, or even creative expression. These practices help you move from a space of fear and separation to a space of love and unity. It allows you to see your trauma as an integral part of your spiritual path, something that, though painful, has a purpose in your journey toward wholeness. When you view trauma through this lens, it becomes not just something to survive, but an experience that fosters growth, helping you uncover your strength and your connection to something greater than yourself. One of the most powerful tools in healing emotional trauma is forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Forgiveness is an energetic release, a way of breaking the ties that bind you to painful experiences. It's important to understand that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the actions that caused the pain or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the emotional charge that these memories hold over you, thereby freeing yourself from the energetic chains that keep you stuck in cycles of pain and suffering. When we carry resentment, anger, or shame, we continue to be affected by the trauma. These emotions act like weights, dragging our energy down and limiting our ability to live freely. By practicing forgiveness, you reclaim your power and create space for new, positive energies to flow into your life. Forgiveness of others can be challenging, especially when the wounds run deep. However, it's crucial to recognize that forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about your freedom. It's about choosing not to let the past dictate your future. Self-forgiveness is just as important, if not more. Many of us hold on to feelings of guilt, shame, or regret, believing that we are somehow responsible for what happened, or that we should have acted differently. These internalized feelings can be debilitating, preventing us from moving forward. Through practices like compassionate self-talk, journaling, or guided meditations focused on forgiveness, you can begin to release the burden of self-blame and make peace with your past. This act of letting go is a powerful step in your spiritual healing, allowing you to step into your authentic self with love and compassion. Spiritual growth requires surrendering the need to control or rationalize everything that has happened to you. Healing emotional trauma is not a linear process. Some days, you may feel as though you've made great progress, and on other days, it may feel like you're back at square one. This back and forth can be frustrating, but it's a natural part of the journey. This is where faith in something greater than yourself becomes essential. Trusting in the divine plan, the universe, or your higher self helps you find meaning in the healing process, even when it's uncomfortable or painful. Faith allows you to surrender, acknowledging that while you may not understand everything that has happened, you are being guided, and there is a purpose behind your experiences. This perspective can help alleviate the fear of uncertainty, providing comfort during times when the healing journey feels overwhelming. Surrendering also means accepting that healing is unique for everyone, and there is no right or wrong way to do it. For some, the process involves long periods of introspection and solitude, while others may find healing through community support, creative expression, or spiritual mentorship. Embrace the path that feels right for you, and trust that every step brings you closer to your true essence. By letting go of the need to fix everything immediately, you allow the healing process to unfold naturally, guided by the wisdom of your higher self. Ultimately, healing emotional trauma from a spiritual perspective is about reintegration. Trauma often fragments us, causing parts of ourselves to become disconnected in order to survive the pain. This fragmentation can lead to feelings of emptiness, disconnection, or even numbness. The journey to healing involves bringing these fragmented parts of yourself back together into a cohesive, whole being. It means creating a safe space for all of the parts of yourself, even those that are wounded or fearful, and lovingly welcoming them back home. Reintegration can involve practices like meditation, energy healing, shadow work, and inner child healing. Shadow work involves acknowledging and accepting the parts of yourself that you may have rejected or suppressed because they were too painful or uncomfortable. Inner child healing helps you connect with the part of you that was hurt during early experiences, offering the love, validation, and security that you needed but didn't receive. By nurturing these parts of yourself, you begin to heal from the inside out, fostering a sense of wholeness and inner peace. Bringing yourself back to wholeness also involves aligning with your highest self, the version of you that is empowered, loving, and in harmony with the universe. As you release the burdens of trauma, you naturally reconnect with this higher version of yourself. You begin to make choices that reflect your true nature, rather than being driven by fear or pain. Trauma becomes not just an obstacle but a teacher, guiding you toward greater wisdom, compassion, and authenticity. The more you embrace all of who you are, the more you align with your purpose and live from a place of deep spiritual fulfillment. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on spirituality and personal growth.